So now introducing our puppy to the grooming table. Grooming tables are fantastic because they're non-slip. He has these 2 clean, dry towels, and we kind of never take our hands off of our puppies, right? Like we are always supporting them on the table. We don't want them to have a bad experience. I like them to be in the center of the table. I also prefer a small table. You might not have that option, but a small table just gives you, you're not chasing them around as much. And then you see that I do have him on a grooming loop, and that's because what if I do have to let go of him at some point? I don't want him to fall off the table, but you can see I don't have it tight with his head way up. I have it just really loose. It's really just for his safety. Now, one thing is that I really love these Jelly Pet grooming loops because they're made of biothane. And so they are antibacterial, they don't smell, they don't hold the water, so you can wash them and disinfect them. And that could be really important, especially with your puppies as well. They come in lots of great colors, but I just like the biothane aspect of them. I think it's such a great improvement to the old cloth or webbed grooming loops that we used to have, because those cloth and webbed ones, they just soaked up the water. You couldn't clean them, you couldn't disinfect them. And of course we know with the pandemic, etc., how important those things are. So here, this is our setup. The puppy is nicely in the center of the table, but I'm supporting him the whole time. And again, this grooming loop, I could even make it like a tiny bit looser. Oopsie, boy, just so that it's just there for his safety, so that it's not long enough that he can actually fall off the table. But I don't use it to like really secure his neck in any way. So this is, of course he thinks it's a fun thing to chew, but so then we're just gonna stand him up and remind him not to do that. And then next we're going to get started with the forced air dryer. Okay, so now we are ready with our puppy to start the forced air dry process. So with any puppy, including this one, this could maybe last 10 seconds. It could also maybe last 2 or 3 minutes, right? You are working them to their tolerance of the dryer. I'm using the Chris Extreme dryer, and the reason I like that is I can turn it way down in the beginning and then slowly turn it up as he tolerates it. But at no time with a puppy, even if they are really tolerating the dryer, am I going to do anything above the shoulders. So his shoulders, his withers, anything from here up, I would never touch with the forced air dryer. If they made little teeny tiny happy hoodies, I would put one on him, but they don't. So sometimes I'll even just kind of hold their ears down to make sure that they're not surprised by the dryer noise. So I'm going to start with the forced air dryer. I'm not going to talk during it because that'll just be annoying for you. You won't be able to hear me. And then when we're done, I'll explain what we did. So this is really where this grooming loop is important in this process. Because if I do have to take 2 hands off of him, if the dryer kind of goes crazy, he is the safety of this loop. So here we go. So you can see there that our puppy did tolerate that dryer quite a bit. I wasn't worried about a systematic or stylized drying process at any point. That's going to happen in maybe about another 4 to 6 weeks. He was much more comfortable with me using the dryer while he was sitting down. That's perfectly fine with me right now. I just want his comfort level. You notice I worked on the back end of him as far away from his head, his ears for the noise. Also, he couldn't really see it as much, so it wasn't as startling When he did turn and sniff the dryer nozzle, I didn't point the nozzle towards him at all. I just wanted him to create that trust with the dryer. Then I slowly moved to his front feet. When I moved to his front feet, the dryer was further away. I didn't want it to be close and startle him or get him to be upset. And then he was tolerating it, in my opinion, very, very well. So I stood him up gently and started using the dryer with him standing. Now, that was a little bit more agitating for him. He didn't quite like that as much. He wasn't as comfortable. He wanted to sit down. So I just gently encouraged him to stand for about another 3 to 5 seconds. Then I let him sit down, have a more positive experience with the dryer sitting down. And then I just ended our session, right? So he's fairly dry. Like, that did a fairly good job. And I'm really happy with that progress. So if that's as far as you got for this stage, so this is at week 2, I'm very happy with that kind of progress. And of course, if your puppy starts fighting, had that kind of irritated feel around the dryer and didn't like it, I would have stopped the dryer, right? I would have just stopped that forced drying process, because basically at this stage, week 2, 18 weeks of age, I'm happy with the forced air dryer being on for even 10 seconds, right? Next week it would be 20 seconds, but I just want to slowly work them up to it. So that is this week's stage for the forced air dryer for pretty much any breed of dog that you might have. Hey everyone, thanks for watching today's video. Please leave us a comment below, let us know what you thought, and as well, if you have any ideas for future content that you'd like to see, you can put them down there as well. You can head over to leadingedgedogshow.academy.com, where you can find our free, premium, and subscription content, and we'd love to have you join us there. As well, don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on those notifications. That way you never miss another free video tutorial. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.